Tonight's topic: every woman you meet has been heartbroken at least once and doesn't deserve you because of it. Now, is this saying the woman is nothing and we're all this? No, that's not what this is saying. What this is saying is that until she remedies her stuff from all those situations she was in, she's beneath a man like you. She's beneath a man like me. Because here's the thing. And now we're talking about relationships. Now, if you one of those, I ain't gonna never be in a relationship guy, forget that relationship stuff. I don't even want to talk about it. If that's who you are, then go ahead. If you feel like, getting in a relationship is going to be your downfall because you can't maintain boundaries and you can't, control the situation the way it's supposed to be controlled. Okay, cool. Me, I can enter in any situation I want to be in because there's not a situation I'm going to be in where I can't maintain the energy and I can't take care of it the way I need to take care of it to make sure I maintain the position I'm supposed to be in and she maintain her position. I don't look at it like that. I don't shy away from it because I'm afraid of it because the woman is going to overwhelm me emotionally or none of that type of foolishness. Now, let's get into it. Here's the first thing you got to understand about a woman when you meet her. If she's been in a relationship, any long-term relationship before, but especially a marriage or if she has a kid, because technically, if two people were together living in the same home, like man and wife, and they had a kid, they were pretty much the same thing as a married couple without the piece of paper. That's pretty much what it was. So when I say marriage, I mostly mean those situations, but I also mean the few legal marriage situations that are still out here. Getting out of a situation that she stayed in too long, it could cost a woman everything. So even if you meet a woman where she's back on feet and she's driving a nice car, she got a nice spot, she got, she's back. You got to understand where that situation probably left her. And here's the thing about a woman she ain't gonna too tough do like a man does. When she get out of a relationship and it drain her totally, a woman will separate herself and she won't worry about being in a relationship. So a lot of times you meet a woman, she says she's celibate. Yeah, she's celibate, but she's celibate because emotionally she hadn't even been available for herself. So she just couldn't connect with anyone. It's not because, she's the mother of God or anything like that. So I want y'all to understand that most times when a woman is saying that, it's because she is coming out of one of those situations. And that's great that she was able to, that she has that cleansing time. But what about the psychological effects of it? What about the emotional effects of it? So if she loses everything financially, she may be a woman who will never get back on feet. She may be a woman who every man she meets, she's going to need some financial assistance. That's one thing you got to look into. So a lot of times you meet a woman, she needs financial assistance. Man, a lot of times I've met a lot of women who didn't just go through life, playing the game and wilding out and wasting their time. They actually were doing good until they locked in with the wrong dude and they stayed in a bad relationship too long and it took them all the way down through there. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it flatlined them. And there's something that a woman loses out of herself when she goes through that, when a man when she's in a situation that she stays in too long and it just flatlines. Because one thing I will say is this: if a woman is really into you, man, she'll stay through some stuff, bro. And you look at it and say, a lot of times she stays and the man she's with gets worse because he thinks she's staying, so she cool with whatever he doing. When you think somebody cool with whatever you're doing, you just wild out more. And so by the time you meet her, she's gone through all of this. So she may lose everything emotionally. Let's say she doesn't lose everything financially. Sometimes she's in a situation where she's with a man, both of them got a little paper. What if she loses everything emotionally, though? Every man she's with after that is a rebound relationship. It's a rebound relationship. And there's really nothing you can do about it. You're a rebound relationship. He's a rebound relationship because even if she feels you enough where she would want to be in that type of situation with you, she can't because emotionally she's not there. And the main thing is you're going to have to jump through a lot of hoops as well because all that settling for less. And now when I say settle for less, I don't mean the man was less than her. I mean the behavior. When I say settle for less, you settle for less than the interaction you deserve. You settle for less than the energy you deserve from someone. And so by the time you meet her, man, look at all the things a woman has gone through by the time you meet her, dog. And not to mention, if she came out of that situation and had that little 304 phase, if she had that little whole phase coming out of there, man, then you throw all the body connections and all the spiritual connections she made through the intimacy, man, she all over the place, bro. So 9 times out of 10, when you meet a woman, she has already gone through at least one serious heartache. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If she needs somebody to help her recover from heartache, it needs to be the man who caused the heartache. Don't do it to yourself. You're selling yourself short when you do that, brothers. It's not worth it at all. So let's get into this thing, man. We got some clips we're going to run through, man. If you want to be a part of this live chat, man, go ahead to the main channel page. Next to that subscribe button, you'll see a join button. Click that join button. Come on back in here and kick it with us, man. We just went incognito in 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. We there. All right, man. So let's get ready to do it. Let me see. If she doesn't have her parents in her life, haven't seen her parents display proper roles in relationship, don't get with her, it won't work out. Yeah, parents or grandparents. If she has no example of what those traditional gender roles look like, avoid her, or you're going to be in a situationship. See, a lot of these things you call a relationship, man, you get in a situationship with a woman because that's all she has left. A woman can only truly give herself to one relationship. Every sequential relationship after that, every subsequent relationship, she is not fully vested. She can't be. She may stay in the situation because it's beneficial to her, but she'll never be able to be fully vested because some of the things that a woman gives to a relationship like that, to a connection like that, she doesn't get them back. That's the thing about it. That's why the Most High intended for a woman to be with one husband, because once she gives that man everything, some of that stuff that man's gonna keep. She ain't gonna get it all back. So let's say a woman has 15 things. She get into a situation with a man and they like husband and wife, they married, pretty much that's his wife, they living like that, man. When that situation is over, of those 15 things, she only got about 9 left. If you're lucky, she got 10 left, but that's 6. And 6 of those things are going to be, those 6 things are the 6 most important things. So it's not like they're just 6 random things. No, they're the most important 6 things because a woman only gets those things once. One of them is virginity. One of them is that. The other is blind love. Every good man deserves to have a woman who loves him blindly, who doesn't have any experience to say, well, no, to hark on when anything happens and then she has a flashback to what that felt like. And all. Man, listen, if you're a good man, you deserve a woman who's gonna go head in with you, all in with you. I'm talking about no worries, no concerns. She don't care about nothing, man. Of course, she's a woman. You know, she may be she may have a little jealous streak. And all woman that's got a man that they think is worth having it and worth holding on to, they might have a little jealous streak sometime. You know, most time they won't let it out, but it'll be there. Otherwise, man, you don't have no problems. You know why? Because this is the way it's supposed to be for us. We got to stop acting like it's supposed to be another way. All right, let's get into this, man. I can find it, man. What's going on? All right, here we go. Let's get it.
To tell you, women didn't act the way they act today. A lot of women act different. You know, a lot of women are today is more like, you know, independent minded. You know what I mean? They don't listen to men. You know what I mean? They don't respect men. They don't hold men in high esteem. You know, even, you know, the preacher used to preach, you know, the Bible says, you know, that's what he said. The Bible says, so women submit to your men. And you tell a woman to submit now, I don't care if Jesus said it. They trying to hear that. They not, Jesus do, that's in the Bible, but they don't believe in that.
Now, what you hear Ken saying, man, is something so real that guys look at it and say, well, man, no, that's not it, man. Listen, you got to accept the world you live in. In this world, that's the world you live in. Because see, what you got to understand is this. If her experiences are independent women, if the woman she looks up to the most is her mom, and say her mom, once her mom and dad split up, she just saw her mom get it. Her mom just been independent. Her mom been doing her thing. Her mom been living that. She been flying the independent flag rather. She been living that life, and she ain't never seen no man. She think her mama ain't never had to depend on a man for then to rely on a man for then to her mama kept her away from any man she was dealing with. She ain't even see her mama deal with no man. Don't even think her mama was getting it in with no man. Don't think none of that. Man, you can't do that with her. You can't do that with her. Because she believes in the whole independent woman thing when the whole thing is fake. It isn't real. There is no such thing. There's no such thing. Unless she's getting money like that and she's sworn off men intimately too, there's no such thing. And I just say this, I want y'all to understand that that's just the world we live in. In the West, especially in the States. If you're in the States, man, that's just how it is. Like, that's just how it is. Am I saying there aren't any outliers? No, I'm not. But I'm saying the majority of them are already taken already, or they're a woman who's already been taken down through there and she's making the adjustment. Man, the biggest travesty in dating and relationships is the woman who used to be a certain way, went down through there, don't have a whole lot of baggage, may not even have no kids, but she went down through there in a relationship, and she's missing those 6 important things. But she's over the situation. She's over it fully. But she's missing those 6 important things that you would want as a man, that you must have as a man. She's still missing those 6 things because she already gave them to somebody. So it don't matter if you find a good woman. If she's already been heartbroken, she's missing 6 things. So we don't even talk about a woman and say she's not a good woman. She's not a good woman. She may be a phenomenal woman, but she won't make a good woman to be in your wife position because so 6 of the things that you need there are gone. And that's just how it is, man. There's nothing you can say about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what, man? I feel pretty good today, man. We'll let subscribers in. And, when you look at these situations this way, man, we must just understand that this is just how it is. This is just how it is. Ain't nothing you could do about it. So let's get back into this thing, man.
There's not one woman on this planet that I trust. Not one. It doesn't matter if I'm related to her or not. I do not trust any woman on this planet. Why would you trust a predominantly emotional being? A predominantly emotional being is like the wind. It's here, there, and everywhere for any reason or no reason at all. You don't trust something like that. That's not even intelligent. Look, woman is not to be trusted. She is to be maintained. And the better you maintain her, the better she will operate and perform in your life. See, this is the reason why you shouldn't even trust a lot of guys in society today, because they think, they hear, they see, they operate, and they behave just like females. Because they've been probably reared by their mother only, or their granny only, or their auntie only, and none of those 3 were wise enough to put their son around solid men when he was growing up. So now he's just like a woman. Now he's just like a female. Now he's all over the place like the wind. Doesn't know his face from his butt or his butt from his face.
Listen, man. Here's the real deal. Life is not about trust. I don't even like to use the word. Trust is not for humans. There's a certain amount of pressure you can put on a human that they're gonna fold. There may be some people with a high tolerance for pain. You can't pain them out for physical pain, but you can emotional pain them out. They love their family enough where if you get doing the right things, they'll come up off whatever you want them to come off of. So you got to think about this, man. I say this to you. Don't worry about trusting a woman. You don't worry about trust when you just accept her for who she is. Got to accept her for who she is. And here's the thing, man. If she's not in a situation where you can raise her, and I know I heard TK Kirkland say, well, well, man, you got to let her get, she's too young. If she's 30, you got to let her get older. You got to let her live. Man, dude, nuts. You can't do nothing with that. Can't do nothing with that. Trust is based on expecting something not to change from what it is. And you don't have to trust her because you dictate what she becomes. If you got a woman in your life, man, you should be dictating what she becomes, what she is, what she thinks, how she grows, what she knows. You should be dictating that. Most times as a man, there is some way besides physically that you're superior to a woman. That in our lives as men, we use our superiorities. We use those as our strengths. We use those as the things that that help us to shape our lives. You understand? So we are well versed in those things, and we use those things on a daily basis. So you have to use what you have to use to empower, and you have to know when you're dealing with a woman, man, who is not there and available for that type of thing. I'm not telling you not to deal with a woman. I'm telling you not to deal with a woman who's not available for these types of things. Oh yeah, believe me when I tell you, man, simps changed everything. When tricking came through, it changed everything, man. I got a joint I'm gonna put up for y'all tomorrow, man. Just talking just about that, man. That, this tricking, it changed everything, man. Like tricks changed the game so much that the women changed the way they play the game. Tricks just flipped the game so much. Tricks flipped the game to where, in order to, and you got to think about this. We're not talking about just, tricks, overweight tricks and all that. Some of the young athletes are tricks now. All of the young athletes are tricks. So you look, they always been though. Look at Scottie Pippen when he got with Larsa. Larsa used to run with Kim them. So what we talking about, man? Bro, we talking about just a circle of guys who didn't even get access to certain women because they were athletes and goofballs. Most athletes are goofballs, man. You know what I'm saying? If they make it to the ultimate level, now in high school, yeah, in college maybe, but the ones who blast off to the league, man, they live a different life. They live a different life. And so that's why you have Ja Morant doing all the silly shit he doing now, because now he got paper, so he could be around the people that he would have been around then, but he was an athlete. He couldn't be around them. But now that he could do what he want to do, he wilding out. He going crazy. About to lose everything, mess with these guys. So I just say, when you think about that, you got to understand that, and this is, listen, bro, and it pains me to say this. The ism cannot compete with the tricking in the modern dating game. That's the first time in the history of the world that tricking has won something over the pimping. And I'm gonna tell you, tricking is so strong, but it's because it got so strong and we let it go on so long, not being called out. You got to think about how long it's been going on. It's been going on since Wayne said it ain't tricking if you got it. That's how long tricking been going on. It ain't tricking if you got it. And boy, that's been a long time ago. It was going on undercover then. Then when that popped in the internet, man, listen, tricks will tell a woman, hey, I'll give you 10,000. I give you 10,000 for a picture of your feet. Come on, bruh. Listen, what kind of ism you got that's gonna compete with that? What ism you got to tell a woman, no, babe, what you gonna do? And the thing is, the ism, as I said, applying to the square world, it only applies to relationships. If you got a wife, if you got two wives, you got three wives, if you got a wife or sister wives, that's where it applies to. Because when you talk about these women out here, tricking and changed the game so much that the woman is starting to feel like she got the ism. Because it ain't nobody interfering with her access to the trick and the money. So she got straight direct access with nobody governing her and making her feel like a worker bee. She feels like the queen bee. And so with her feeling like the queen bee, she gonna go out there, man, and she gonna pile up experiences and she gonna live a certain life. And man, that shit gonna be toxic to you. It's gonna be toxic to you. So, the bottom line is, man, when it boils down, it changed the game so much and it popped off so fast. The thing is, the internet, I'm telling you, man, social media just blasted all the tricks into the light. Things that they never saw before, it just blasted all of them into the light all of a sudden. So they don't mind showing everything they have online to catch a woman. And then they will get in the woman DM and they'll just offer her some bread. And the thing is, we're starting to see just how many women will accept their bread. Just how many of them will accept their bread. So for me, that's my main thing, man. I'd be like, I respect a woman who won't accept no bread. That's what I do. Because there's some boys that offer some real cheese, man. And so, but here's the thing. When those women get into those relationships and they round with all the multiple relationships, they start to abhor the positive energy that real men bring, which in turn changes their energy. And so a woman like that is off-putting to a man like me. You know what I'm saying? I can smell the stench of hoism on her already. She ain't even taking no time to cleanse herself. She's still living that life actively. But she's going to hit that age where she can't play the game like that anymore. And 9 times out of 10, she didn't quit early enough to get the type of man she wants. She still played the game so long that the type of man she wants start to real. And that's another thing that the internet did. It showed guys who weren't necessarily about the ism or none of that. It showed them what that type of woman looks like. Her games, how she plays. And so now there's some guys out there that are just good dudes, man. They ain't about no ism. They ain't about none of that. They're just good dudes who might be taken advantage of by a woman who was able to suppress her femininity. And that's the main thing that happens, man. Psychologically, a woman will adjust to her plight. And in those situations, she'll go from being a feminine woman who's trying to keep peace in a situation to a fighter. Now, if a woman has had to physically fight in a relationship, nothing takes more out of a woman than that. Nothing robs her more of her femininity. Because you think about it. Think about this. You got to have a certain level of masculine energy as a woman if you are willing to fight a man. You know what I mean? Now, granted, a man has to have a certain level of feminine energy if he's willing to fight a woman too. You're a pretty feminine guy if you really, really be sitting whooping on your woman, man. You're a pretty feminine guy. It's a pretty feminine thing, man. Not something to be proud of. I can guarantee you that. So let's get back into this thing, man.
Man, I don't show a bitch shit. I be me, and if the bitch can't see me, then that's on her, and she miss out. I don't do nothing special. I ain't trying to, I ain't got no certain special routine to do. It is, you can tell what the bitch think by what she say to you. I can see it or I can hear it, and I just tell that bitch, girl, you wasting my motherfucking time, and I be gone. I ain't trying to show a bitch shit. I want to fuck with a bitch that can see. I ain't trying to help a bitch see. If the bitch can see, I'm fucking with her. If she can't see, keep fucking with them niggas you fucking with, baby. That's how I feel.
Okay, that leads me to my next question. Now, if she fucking with you, what kind of things do you look for to see if she just fucking you to fuck with you? Like sexual
Man,
shit?
come on, man. That's the same kind of ignorant fucking shit. You asking shit like some nigga that don't even know who he is. Whatever the bitch do, it's registering to you good or bad. And that's what you go on.
That's the part I want y'all to hang on. My way or no way He just described my way or no way. Shout out to Rosebud. He just described my way or no way. The same thing I've been telling you since I've been on this platform. My way or no way, and no way is okay. Whatever she does, if it ain't my way, we got a problem. If it is my way, I ain't gonna starve her. That's just the way it is. If it is my way, we good. If it's not my way, we got a problem. She ain't got to do it my way, but if she don't do it my way, it's gonna be a problem. She gonna have to move along. That's just the way it is. And yes, will a woman get frustrated about it? Yeah, she get frustrated about it. Man, I can't believe you said, like, I get it. I get it. Everything got to be your way or no way. Yep, you're right. It's my way or no way. But I always give you the option of no way. See, here's what a woman wants. She don't want options. She wants the options that she thinks are best for her. That is an option. My way or no way, that's an option. You have options there. You have two options. You don't have to pick one. You don't have to do it my way. But she doesn't want that. She wants one of the options to be her way. But it'll never be her way. You shouldn't ever let it be her way. If you with a woman right now and you got to do things her way, you need to be trying to end that shit immediately. Immediately, man. You need to be getting out of it. You need to get out of it, man. Because here's the thing that happens. When those industries start to change, you're either in a sexless marriage with residue of fake love, or you're in a make-up sex-filled marriage with adversarial animosity. You got to think about this. Why we got to have make-up sex? Because we've been fighting. So if your relationship is just based on that type of energy, it's over. You just in it. And you done put yourself in a situation with a woman who wasn't ready for it. Now, sometimes you wasn't ready for it. But the worst thing is two people trying to get together who wasn't ready for it. So I just say to you, stop trying to act like the shit she doesn't have is okay. You meet a woman who done gave those 6 things away to somebody, you know she ain't got them. And then you still wife her up anyway. Why in the hell would you do that? If you sign a contract to have an executive position at a Fortune 500 company, and you see your salary and benefits package, and then when you start, they tell me, well, we changed our mind, we can't do that. You got a contract. You know what you finna do? You finna call your attorney immediately. Because you're not going to let them give you less than you deserve. Only time you let somebody give you less than you deserve is when you get in a relationship. That's everybody. Men, women, dogs, everybody. You only allow somebody to give you less than you deserve when you enter in a relationship. And here's the problem. When you as a man enter into that relationship, you tend to lose more because you give more. A man gives everything of himself because you have responsibilities that require you to give what you spend your time making and earning. You know how every time when you go out with your family, you risking your freedom. You're risking your life and your freedom because at any moment, if something happens, you got to protect them. And it could cost you your life or your freedom. Every single time you step out with them. Now, is that bad? No, it's not bad. It's just true. And I want you men to start realizing that. So how you going to put a woman who can't give you those 6 things in this situation? We'll talk about those 6 things tomorrow. The 6 things a woman who's been heartbroken by another man can't give you in a relationship. We'll talk about those tomorrow, man. I'm telling you, brothers, you must keep in mind that no matter what you think is going on around you, the world is what it is. So if you think something else is going on around you besides how the world is, you're being delusional. You're not living the life you need to be living. If she's already done that, she can't do it anymore. So if you marry a woman who's already been married before, you're nuts. It doesn't make sense to do. So, and when like I said, now when I say marriage, I don't mean just legal marriage. If a woman has been in a relationship with a man for 10 years and they weren't legally married, but they lived together for 10 years and they got kids, man, that woman is already in a situation like that. And really, just to be on the safe side, a rule of thumb is 9 times out of 10, she got a kid by a man, then there's some she was in that long enough for there to be some psychological damage. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's psychological damage for a woman who has a kid and she's not with the father. There's psychological damage for her. There's financial damage for a man. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta take care of kids that's not in the house with you. You know, and that's just the reality of it, man. And I say this, man, we have to understand that there's no need for us to act like these things don't take place because we know they do. We've seen them growing up all our lives. Let's get back into this thing, man.
You know for certain that Dreani is your child's father?
Yes. I'm 99.99999% sure.
I'm ready.
Please read it out loud for me.
Braden is not my biological son. Oh my God. Oh my
Can I see?
God.
That cannot be
It
right.
says that right there.
So, Brandy, Dreani is not the father of your child.
It's
Brandy.
no other possibility.
Well, clearly there is.
Now, I want you to look and see how that woman is still sitting there saying, boy, this is going to put you in the game right here. Let's finish watching this.
Brandy.
That can't be right.
It's
Come
correct.
on, Karamo.
Brandy, what it...
This stuff has kept me up at night, Karamo. I'm being honest. It's kept me up at night. My feelings have hurt. As a man, I've pain in my body.
I got to tell you, I'm absolutely shocked right now.
Because I'm 100% absolutely an incredible father. And like I said, regardless of how I deal with women sometimes, I try to be a decent man. And I want to be a better man.
It's no other possibility. I don't understand what's going on.
Well, is there anyone that you could have slept with when y'all were together in that 6
No.
before y'all broke
I
up?
was only with him.
Karamo,
There has to be one
once
other
again,
person.
it brings me, it's full circle. This is a full circle moment for me right now.
This can't be
Read it. Here
real.
you go. Here you go. It's yours.
This is one of the most painful things that men have to learn. This is the most painful lesson that you'll ever have to learn. Once she decides that she's going to tell you a lie, she will never tell you the truth about that situation. It don't matter what she faces. Once she tells you a lie, you can rest assured she will never come out of her face and say, okay, let me be honest. You will, but she won't. She won't ever do it. At no point will she ever come out and say, you remember when I told you this, that wasn't true. Let me tell you the truth. She won't do it. No matter what, listen, God can tell her you lying. She'll say, well, God, I don't know what you're looking at. You looking at something wrong. It wasn't me. One of us lying, but it ain't me. I ain't gonna call you no lie, Lord, but it ain't me. That's what she'd say with a straight face. Regardless of the consequences of the lie, she doesn't care. She believes that that's her truth. And here's why. She will convince herself of her truth. When we had to watch Lizzo walk around with all them little bitty clothes on, it's because she had convinced herself that she really was fine. And then you saw other women in her comments, they had all convinced themselves that she was fine. So before you know it, you go out and there's a Lizzo-sized woman with some too small clothes. So there's a Lizzo-sized woman with some Simone Biles-sized clothes on. And it doesn't make sense, brother. This is what we deal with when you think about this, you got to understand this. What kind of trauma has that woman dealt with where she's able to look at the truth? I'm talking about truth she cannot deny. Look at the absolute truth and still say, I don't know what happened. Now, I'm telling the truth. That machine right there ain't telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Them 59 witnesses there ain't telling the truth. Now I want y'all to think about something as well. Now you see how we'll all say, well, look how she's lying. Look how she's lying. Look how this blah, blah, blah. But if something happens, say like what's going on with Diddy. Like what's going on with Diddy? We all want to say he ain't did that. He's innocent. He ain't doing that. They lying on him. How come he can't be lying? People who do dirt, they lie about it. That's what they do. And the longer they do dirt, more serious the dirt is, the more believable their lie is. I'm telling you, brothers, I want you to understand, man, that you have to protect yourself. Because if you get into a situation with a woman like this, man, like that dude right there, yeah, he's sitting there right now, he doing what he's doing, but it hadn't had time to hit him yet. The psychological effect of deciding whether you're going to pull yourself out of that child's life or stay there because you've been thinking the child is yours this entire time. The financial effect of wondering, are you going to continue to take care of this child because you tied to this child? But the woman lied to you. The child ain't even yours. The spiritual effect of thinking every now and then that you should murk her. The emotional effect of understanding that you don't have any power over the paternity or over the living arrangements of a child that you have grown to love like your own. But most men don't even have the wherewithal to require paternity. They don't require it. For me, I'm like, listen, the least you could do, especially if I'm paying the cost to be the boss, the least you could do is that's what we finna do. This is how it's got to be. See, here's the problem. When you deal with a woman with this mindset, your connection to the Most High wanes to the point of barely existing because he told you and showed you on many occasions this person is not the one for you. How many times did the Most High show you that that person wasn't running for you? How many times did the Most High show you that you should have stayed away from that woman? How many times had the Most High shown you that the woman had some things with her? How many times had the Most High shown you that the woman didn't mean nobody no good but herself? All she thought about was herself. She felt like she missed out on life and now she needed to make it all up. And so whoever she could tie herself to, you're going to make it all up. She going to make it all up on your dime and your time. She got to be over this stuff, man. Whatever happened to her in her past, that's what's causing her to sit here and tell this lie, even when faced with the results of a paternity test, man. Listen, we're not talking about a polygraph exam. We're talking about a paternity test. This man is not the father of this child. And this woman saying that's impossible. No, what's impossible is that man's the father of the child. The woman believes that her word is stronger and more convincing than the paternity test. So yes, when you meet a woman, she gonna tell you that she's over it and she's blah, blah, blah. Man, she ain't over shit. She gonna tell you that the man did this and the man did that and the man did that. Okay, but what about what she did? There's so much psychological, one part of the psychological detriment that you must understand is when a person can't even be accountable for their part in the situation. When a person can't even be responsible for their part in the situation, man, they are more psychologically messed up than you initially thought. Because you got to be able to do that. If you can't do anything else, you got to be able to own up to your part in the situation that affected your life. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to, if your part is just, I stayed in it too long, you got to be able to own up to that. But 9 times out of 10, if it was a toxic situation like that, then your part was even a little bit more. But if that's all it was, you still got to own up to that. A woman, you meet a woman, she hasn't owned up to it yet. And that's why she still has these emotional ties to the situation. Emotional ties to the situation, brothers. Let's get back in this thing, man.
Expensive to maintain. Tell y'all motherfuckers something. It's getting more and more expensive. Well, not for real. It's getting more expensive to maintain us women. You know, this is not the early 2000s and shit where you give a bitch $100 to get her motherfucking hair done, nails done, her eyebrows and whatever. Nah. Let me tell you something. Like, bitches is not getting the $17 full set with 3 free nail design, motherfucker. Bitches want the gel set, and some hoes like me, you know what I'm saying, want Swarovski crystals. So that about there is like about $200 feet and nail. You know what I'm saying? And then the hair, this ain't no, you know, we're not in the era where bitches do the blowouts, you know what I'm saying, or the sew-ins and shit. No, a bitch want a whole full lace wig. The wig is about $800, $500. It really depends where you get it from. The installment is about I see about $300. You know what I'm saying? $200-300. So just on that is $1,000. So what's good?
Now, to me, I take this as a joke. This is Cardi B, whose start was before Love and Hip Hop. She was a dancing girl with no ass at all. Like literally flat like a notebook top. I mean, she was flat as a laptop and called herself dancing and twerking. And she ended up finding her rhythm, ended up finding her thing, and then she faked all her stuff out, and now here she is. Here's the problem. If you so broke and poor that you can't even get your hair done, you don't need to be fucking with a man like me. You're beneath my level. If you can't even get your own nails, if you can't even take care of your own beautification, dog, if a woman can't do it, if you're dealing with a woman like that, okay, pay her stuff if that's what you want to do. I'm not even dealing with a woman who don't just take care of her own hygiene, her own beauty, like clockwork. That should be something she should want to stay on top of herself. And if she can't afford to stay on top of it, then she needs to downsize all that shit. You understand? If you can't afford an $800 wig, then you don't need an $800 wig. If you can't afford a $500 wig, your ass don't need a $500 wig. If you can't afford a $200 nail job on your feet and on your feet and hands, then guess what? You shouldn't worry about it. That's not your life. I wish I would, man, take care of a woman's basic beauty needs. You were doing that shit before you met me. I'm not taking over. Man, let me tell you something. I'm not coming into no woman's life taking over financial responsibility for her life. You know what I'm saying? She need to be trying to see what she could put in my pocket. What the hell I like putting something in hers? What I look like paying her bill when she need to be trying to see how she can benefit me financially. That's the mindset. When I tell you the women have changed, that's the mindset they've changed to. That's their new mindset. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Their new mindset is that, okay, you just got to give me money. Man, I wish I would. I wish I would. I ain't gonna never play that game. Ever. Ever. If you want my provision and protection, then you know what? You're gonna have to give me something you ain't never gave nobody else. What's that gonna be? What is that gonna be? What you gonna give me you ain't never gave nobody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the MO, man. That's the mindset that you have to have out here. Because if not, you're gonna find yourself in a situation where a woman has been through so much that she's entitled to better and she wants you to give her better. See, let me help y'all understand something. The more a woman goes through, the less she has to give, but the more she wants from you. So if you meet a woman that's really gone down through there and she ain't had time to get over it, man, she ain't had time to heal from it, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be dealing with a woman who has nothing to give, but she's going to feel like it's her time to get everything. She's due now. So I promise you, she ain't going to give you nothing, but she going to think she is. And so you just got to know the kind of woman you're dealing with. And listen, man, it's not bad on her. It's not anything negative on her. If she can't give it, she can't give it. And I'm not saying just you ain't even got to not deal with it at all if you don't want to. But you got to limit what she could be exposed to in your life. You got to limit her role in your life. So that I'm just telling you, man, I don't care. If you don't deal with it, don't deal with it. What I'm saying is never put a less than woman in your wife position in your life. You can't afford to put a woman who's less than wife into your wife position in your life. We're not even talking about legal marriage or none of that. We ain't talking about none of that sucker shit. We're talking about you can't afford to put the wrong woman in this position in your life. It's a sucker move. It's a simp move. It's a weak move. And it's the move of a man who cannot get out of his own way. And his temptation is leading him down the path of self-destruction because there's no way you should do that. There's no other facet of life where you would do that. You are not going to hire a man who does roofing to put in some hedges and trees around your yard. You're not going to do that, but you're not going to hire a landscape man to put your roof on your house. You're not going to go somewhere and tell the man who sells cars at the car dealership to repair your car. You're not going to do that. And it ain't no man in the back that can come out there looking like a grease monkey with all the oil on him, come out there and sell you a car. That's not how it goes. So when it comes to the relationship, the interaction with these women, you got to do it the same way. Listen, man, you know what you want. You know what you need. You know what you got to have. Why settle for a woman who doesn't give you that? That's all I'm saying. If you're a man and you know what you deserve, why settle for less than you deserve? A woman will think she's supposed to get more than she deserves. Why you won't even not settle for less? Don't settle for less, brothers. Let's get back into this thing, man.
Except in physiology, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. The only form of exercise your prostate gland gets is during erection, and that erection comes with sexual activity. Okay. So the study is abundantly clear that a man in healthy shape should be able to have sexual interaction 21 times a month. 21 times? A month, to avoid prostate issues, prostate cancer, or cardiovascular issues. If you don't exercise the gland, it swells on you. It becomes enlarged. When it becomes enlarged, that is a precursor to cancer. So yes, you have a beautiful wife. Do whatever it takes to please that woman so she can give it to you 21 times a month. Yeah, but that's if she pleases you, because you have to be in the right state of mind, isn't it? Yeah, but don't quote me to your wife, Dr. Ken. So if she doesn't please you, I advocate to my patients that you can have a side chick. Your side chick could be on contract.
Listen, I advocate to my patients too, man. If your woman is not taking care of your needs and you can't get no sense of urgency out of mind, then you deserve to have a side chick. But sit down and talk to her, man. Listen, I always talk to a woman. Say, look, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you get to the point, because listen, if a woman can do it, I'll let her do it. If a woman can take care of things, man, then I'll let her take care of it for as long as she can. But then we're gonna always have that conversation in the beginning where, look, if we wherever this, I mean, you don't have this conversation with a woman until you feel like she might be able to fit in that position. You know what I'm saying? Because once you cross that line to where you're heading to a spot where if she earns that position, she can get it. You got to make sure all these things are on the table, man. And I wouldn't deal with a woman who has a mindset where, even if she gets to the point where, her body won't let her do what's necessary to take care of my intimate needs, that you can't, I don't want no other woman around. I'm not a woman who even say that, dog. I'm not dealing with her. And I know what some woman gonna say. Well, can she do it too? No, I'm the one I stand up in peace. She don't. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. So when you think about it, man, that guy saying, man, I feel like this, man. A lot of you guys end up in those marriages, man, where you ain't never intimate with your woman. I know people, man, that don't even sleep in the bed with their wife, man. I'm talking about ever. Like they just got two separate rooms. Like they don't never be in the bed. They don't never be intimate. They really roommates. And I'm like, bruh, come on, man. That's the roommate you want? Now she's still your wife, so you can't bring nobody in the house. So you're a single man with a wife, but you can't deal with no other woman. Man, for me, I don't like complications like that. I like everything to be the way it's supposed to be. Everything should be flowing smoothly. Everything should be flowing smoothly. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, when you hear that doctor say 21, man, yeah. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? When you hear a man say 21, that's different. That's a different life right there. 21, bro, I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's only 30 or 31 days in each month, dog. I'm not finna spend 21 days, man, getting in like that, man. No. You know what? Or maybe he means 21 times. Maybe he's thinking once a day. And so he mean, maybe that's what he means, because he is African, man. Like the way they enunciate the things they actually mean is something different. So I think maybe he means that. Maybe he means that, 21 times, which is still a lot, but 21 days, that's like you spend it every day. But I mean, I really, when you really think about it, 21 times is really not a lot. 21 times, it only means that at least 10 days out of the month, you get it in twice. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like an everyday thing. So I think he meant 21 times, man. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. But you know what? I say this. It's not really a lot for a man. Now he is talking about a man wife. So it's not really, and you notice he did say if you have a beautiful wife. The thing is, if you have a beautiful wife, and I'm telling you, bro, and this real talk, until you start, you got to have you at least one beautiful woman. And then you'll understand that beautiful woman, I'm talking about that woman that's just beautiful. She arouses you in a different way than the woman who just looks good does. You know what I'm saying? There's a different, when you interact with just one beautiful woman, then you get to see there's a difference. There's a difference in the interaction. Like you can't, If you can't control your mind, you can't resist a woman. You have to resist her mentally because you can't resist her physically. You can't resist her physically. So, I just think, man, I don't know, man. Put a one in the chat, man. If you got a wife at home right now, if you got a beautiful wife at home, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, man, it may not necessarily, it may not be, it's not as much as it seems if you got a beautiful wife at the crib. And of course, this is for a man that's already getting money. If you got to get up and go to work every day, then no, you ain't got time to do that because you just ain't got time to do it. But if you get money where you ain't got to move like that, you can kind of, if you got your money moving for you, where you ain't really got nowhere to report to ever, then it's a different ball game. So let's get into this, man.
It's me.
This guy would rather live in his car. He's outside in his car, man. And this is his wife. He's parked outside their house. He's so sick of her, he don't even want to be in the house with her. He would rather sleep outside in the car. Peep game.
Can you move that over? Hey, I can't believe you in here like this. So this is really what it is. It stinks in here, low key. This is really what it is. You ain't gonna talk to me? I bring you the food. So
I'm just waking up. I'm bad.
what happened to your knee?
What
happened to your knee? This can't be comfortable. That seat don't even go back.
I got in the car because it was raining outside in the tent. And but why?
That's why you're not in the tent.
So I just parked over here in Walmart. So
Come home. Come home. This is crazy. Why you?
Hey, look, man. He was in the tent, but it started raining so hard that it was raining in the tent. So he went over there and got his car and pulled over there by the tent so he could sit in the car and wait the rain out. Man, that boy would rather sleep outside in a tent. It is better to dwell in the corner of the rooftop than in a wild house with a brawling woman. It is better to dwell in the wilderness. Listen, bruh, that is crazy. But you know what, man? Many men have done this. So you know what this means? This means you got yourself in one of those situations that you should have never been in. You lose your connection to joy and peace. And this is what happens when you do that.
You doing this to
What
yourself?
you come over here for?
To bring you food and just check up on you.
Okay, you can bring the food here now, so you brought the food so you can go.
Come home. This is crazy.
If you gonna do
When the last time you showered? How you going to
What
work?
you mean, last time I showered?
Where you showering at?
Don't worry about where I'm showering at. You leave.
You ain't at no female house.
Listen, man. Bro, let me tell you something. When the woman energy is so bad that you don't even want her checking up on you, boy, you're in a bad situation, man. I'm telling you, man, psychologically, you will adjust to your plight. And if you don't get out of there quick, you're more likely to overindulge in substance abuse and alcoholism, or you begin to avoid, like I said earlier, the positive energy of those around you that do have joy and peace. You end up just want to be by yourself. When you realize that the turmoil in your life is inside your household, you would rather go sleep in the yard. You would rather go sleep in the yard. So when you think about it, man, you got to keep in mind, brothers, that this will drive you batty. Because You know, you get to the point, man, where compatibility is the only true staying power in any relationship. Any relationship, there has to be compatibility. And by compatibility, I don't mean that crazy concept that I gotta like what you like and you, I like what you like what I like, and we were made for each other. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you gotta understand that compatibility means that yin to my yang, thing to my thing, bing to my bang. That's what compatibility means. It means that the things that resonate with me from your femininity, you give me those things. And the things that resonate with you from my masculinity, I give you those things. That way we fit like a glove. We feel like we're what each other's been missing. But when you get to this point where you're ready to go outside, a chair is still a chair. I'm telling you, man. A house is not a home, man, like the homie Kennard just said, man. A house is not a home. That man can't even go inside, bro. He'd rather go in the car and sleep in a tent. You got to keep in mind, brothers, I'm telling you, man, you know, here's the thing, man. When it is because you know your connection to the Most High waned. You don't feel yourself anymore. You don't feel confident anymore. You don't feel strong anymore. You don't feel any of that. Like you just feel like you need some peace. Like you need to recover. Separation is what he needs. But here's the problem. He married the woman. How do you marry a woman who makes you feel this way? That energy didn't just start, or he went in too fast. Y'all be mean women, man, talking about finna marry her, man, been 6 months, man. Y'all crazy. The only way you take a chance on that man is if she ain't never been with nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna be her first, man, listen, you take a chance on that because there ain't no ties that bind to nothing from behind. You know what I'm saying? From nothing, in her past life, man. So you could do it that way. Otherwise, bro, I ain't playing with it, man. That's crazy, man. Let's get back into this thing, man. Hey, it's better to be alone, brothers. It's better to be alone. It's better to be alone, man. I'm telling you it is. Man, you know what? We all have to learn the hard way, man. Everyone. Yeah, Digital King said something dope. Our relationship have a time limit on them. Every last one is up to the individuals to determine what their relationship will be in the future. That's what it is, man. All of them have a time limit on them. That's why the longer relationships, they realize at a certain point you have to reinvent the connection. Some people decide they're going to go and renew their vows, but that works for them. Sometimes they renew the vows and it gives them a reset. Like you have to either reset or either you're going to reset or you shall get beset by whatever relationship you're in, man. Like you got to understand that this is how the thing go. You can't just coast along in the same type of relationship forever. Think about it. You got all those years in primary school, and then you end up going to junior high, and then you end up in high school. All of those levels have set times, and then you have to shift. Then you go to college. Then if you want to go to undergrad, you have to shift. And then you want to go ahead and get your doctorate, you have to shift. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a shift. There's shifts throughout life. If you're trying to get in shape, man, if you weigh 400 pounds, you're trying to get in shape, man, the diet you start off with and everything you start off with, you lose by 50 pounds, you may have to change some things up. You lose 100 more pounds, you may have to change some things up. When you get lean, everything is different. So this is what you may have to understand in every facet of life. Every facet of life. You have to remember that you're the only one you can trust.
This comment right here. I really don't think that he's speaking for all men.
Here's what the comment says. No man wants to raise another man's child and be the cleanup guy. Pass.
Because I know that there will be somebody that steps up one day to be some sort of father figure for my child. And it's also very, I'm very surprised that you felt comfortable actually typing this out and commenting on someone's video. Like, it's just the wildest thing. You don't know my circumstances with my child, or his father, and
Your circumstances don't matter. What the man is saying is no man wants to raise another man's child and be the cleanup guy. It don't matter what your circumstances are. What he's saying is based on the fact simply that you have another man's child. It don't have anything to do with why y'all ain't together. That's irrelevant. There's nothing if a man, listen, any man who feels that way, there's nothing you can say as a woman with a child by another man that's going to change that man's mind.
And yeah, that's basically it. So hopefully he's not speaking for all men out there, but this was just really disappointing to see.
Yes, of course it's disappointing to see. It's going to be disappointing to see because you don't believe you having a kid with another man is baggage. You don't believe it is. Well, it is. Because deep down inside, when a man thinks about a wife or putting a woman in his wife position, yes, you may meet a woman with a child and y'all click and then you put her in that position. But when you're single, no man is saying, okay, my wife position. Let me find the best single mom I can find to put in my wife position. So when you see these men when you see Russell Wilson didn't grow up in life thinking, okay, I'm going to find this rapper's baby mama. No, he saw the way she moved. He liked it. He ended up getting with her and she ended up working her way into a marriage with the sucker. So it ain't no big deal. This has been going on forever. Suckers like Russell Wilson been getting taken down through that for years, man. It's been happening forever. If you like the way a woman move and that's enough for you to make her your wife, you're just like a man that go get a stripper out of the strip club. And that's just how it is, man. And I say, it's no big deal. But as a man, you just have to understand that you have the right to say, okay, I'm not going to do that. And when he says no, man, yes, there are some men who do want to do that, who will do that, but not because they want to. He didn't say no man will. He says no man wants to. Let me tell y'all the difference. He said no man wants to. No man wants to. And he's right. Some men do, but it's just because they end up getting tied in with that woman. Markel, be easy, young homie. Appreciate you coming through. I want y'all to look at this comment right here. Russell Wilson would beat Future's tail. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't see what part of this made you think about, two men scuffling. What made you think about that? Two men scuffling. I don't know what put you in that frame of mind, big dog. Got nothing to do with when. You know what? You might be right though. But I tell you what, I saw Dak Prescott on the beach get whooped by a skinny, a tall skinny dude. Dak Prescott, a quarterback too. Pull it up. Look up the video. One dude. It wasn't a bunch of dude. One little skinny dude. So, I don't get that thing, man. Especially quarterbacks. You mean tell me you think a quarterback is tough, mentally tough, but physically? Come on, man. But anyway, let's get back. I just wanted to put that out to y'all, man, just to show y'all, what happened, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have this idea, that you got to understand, man. Like, it's rough out here. So let's get back. Let's get back into this thing, man. Hey, appreciate the comment though, man. It was definitely a conversation starter. Let me see, man. Somebody came in and said, so we gonna look it up right now. Y'all give me a minute. Somebody said something in the comment. I like proving people wrong in the comment. We're gonna find out right now. Let me see. I don't know, man. I ain't see it. I just looked it up, man. I ain't see him get jumped. I just saw the aftermath. You know what I'm saying? I just saw the aftermath, man. I just saw the aftermath. Yeah, down there in Panama City, man. I just saw the aftermath, man. I ain't really, I ain't really seeing, on that. I ain't see it, bro. I just saw him. I just saw the aftermath, man. I just saw him pulling himself up off the ground. But listen, man, listen. But here's the thing, man. It was him. It was him. It was him and some of his teammates, man. So he didn't get jumped. They got into it wasn't just him. Him and some of his teammates, right? His teammate wasn't in it. Yeah, that's another thing, man. I actually did. Why would two men be fighting over a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it'll never happen? Russ may be willing to fight over her, but listen, man, it sounds like a bunch of excuses to me, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Rand Carey said he was drunk. Man, that's on him. You go out there and get drunk somewhere and get hand put on you. You don't get to use that you were drunk as an excuse. That don't matter. Now I get it. If he would jump, then cool. If he would jump, but his teammates were there, man. I saw his teammates. So I think they got into it, man, with those other guys, man. I don't know. All I know is I saw the video of the boy pulling himself off the ground, man. But my thing is this right here. If we talking about, 3-on-1, I mean, shit, he NFL quarterback, though. But here's what we got to understand, man. And here's what I found out a long time ago. Athletic strength don't translate to fighting. Lifting in the weight room, you can bench press 500 pounds, but it don't translate to not getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? It just really doesn't. So when we talk about physical confrontation, man, like, we should never get into that conversation, man. I started to put you on timeout for a minute, man, even mentioning that. So that's just what you got to understand, man. That shit don't really translate. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, all the toughest scuffles I ever seen, man, they were small guys. Like all the you can say what you want to about Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson was big, but for a heavyweight, Mike Tyson wasn't big. He was small and he was short. Mike Tyson was pretty much knocking out giants. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson didn't really ever get handled. Yeah, Buster caught him. He got knocked out. Buster knocked him out. But for real, to see Mike just get whooped, I ain't see him get whooped till Holyfield whooped him. Like Holyfield whooped him. So when I said, man, you got to understand that we can't live our lives based on anything being more important than who we are internally. Who we are internally is different from who we are externally. Now, yes, externally, you can look at yourself. You want to be in shape. You want to look good. But who you are is represented internally. What you look like is just eye candy for, whoever. Eye candy for the women who want to, who are attracted to you, who want to get with you. And, the same effect for men who want you to be a part of their circle because they know that women like you. So you got to understand, man, that none of this stuff matters. The only thing that matters is that you protect yourself and your peace of mind. Because anything you need to repair in life, if you need to get in shape, you need peace of mind. And, you got to have peace of mind. Also, now I want you to think about this too. Yeah, Mike Tyson may be 5'10", but Yeah, but he was still shorter than most of the people he boxed. Mike Tyson was boxing dude, man, that was 6'2", 6'3". He was boxing some tall dudes, man. Them dudes was towering over Mike. So yeah, he was 5'10", but for a heavyweight boxer, 5'10" is not tall. You look at the brown bomber. What the name is, man? Man, he got whooped. I don't even remember his name. Not the boy from Tuscaloosa, man. I can't still remember his name. And what that cat name is, man? Deontay Wilder. Look how tall Wilder is. Look how tall Tyson Fury is. Like, yeah, he 5'10", but that don't change the fact that I say he's short and he was fighting giants. So for Wilder, he was short, man. You know, Ali wasn't short like that. Frazier was short like that, but Ali wasn't short like that. Foreman wasn't short like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a Lennox Lewis ain't short like that. Riddick Bowe ain't short like that. So you think about all the people Mike fought. Mike was short. Bone Crusher Smith wasn't short like that. Frank Bruno wasn't short like that. Like, everybody was towering over him. Mitch Green by 6'5". So yeah, so you look at him, man, like these guys there were some big guys, man, that were, and he would, for the most part, he would mowing them down. Now, he did fight some tomato cans in the beginning. I'll be honest with you. Tyson earlier fights, go look at Tyson first 15 fights and just see the type of people he was knocking out. Man, he was knocking out people you ain't never heard of before. People you never heard of before. And because he was knocking those guys out, and for one thing, you got to understand this. If you're a new boxer, guys don't know how to train for you. They don't know how to prepare for you. You're just some dude trying to make it. And so by the time people start hearing about him, he had knocked out so many people quick that they was like, man, that dude right there, he gonna knock me out. So I mean, listen, it was a great move, but there's only a very short spell of Mike's career where he was actually great. You know, before that time and after that time. Before that time, he was just a new boxer with power. Nobody knew it. Nobody knew the type of power he had until you get in the ring with him. After that time, where he had that prime window was, I think, between the time he knocked out, man, I can't remember the guy. The guy he knocked out, man, the one who kept getting Trevor Berbick. Once he knocked out Trevor Berbick, even after that, he had some tough fights. So it ain't like he was just mowing through champions like that. He knocked out Trevor Berbick, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. He wasn't mowing down the rest of the champions like that, man. He was winning some fights that were going he was winning some decisions. So I think we just have to understand, man, that we got way off track too. I think we just have to understand, man, that these types of things are based on who you are internally. Who you are externally is one thing. You can never fear the external, because your spiritual man, your mental man, your emotional man can navigate the physical world in ways that your physical man can't. Your physical man can navigate the world one way, physically. You got to go through it. You got to go over it. You got to go around it. Those are the only ways. There's no limit to what your emotional man, what your spiritual man, what your psychological man can do, the things that you can accomplish if you just start to try to focus on using a bit of your brain. If you start focusing on not absorbing information that don't mean nothing, but trying to focus on using your brain to manifest things in your life per se, or to create the type of energy around you that brings the right people, the right things into your life, man, it'd be a totally different thing. And the first thing we do as men that ruins that is we let the wrong woman into our lives. Yeah, Razor Ruddock. That's who it was, Razor Ruddock. Razor Ruddock, that was a help, man. Listen, man, Razor Ruddock was a tough go for him, man. That was a really tough go for him. But it's one of those things, man, where you got to know the same way you got to know when to get out of every situation. If Roy Jones had known when to get out, Roy Jones may have been able to get out undefeated. He didn't know when to get out. He didn't know when to get out. He didn't know how to navigate. He didn't know what to do. When you spend all of training camp trying to get your weight down, you can't train for the boxer, so you're going to go in there and get knocked out by Glenn Johnson. You're going to go in there and get knocked out by Antonio Tarver. You're going to go in there and you're going to get knocked out because you're not the same. When you make a big move in your life, you don't go backwards. He should have never gone back to, what was it, super middleweight. He should have never gone back. He should stay heavyweight. When he went heavyweight, it was done. boxers don't go back down in weight class. Y'all look it up and tell me how many boxers have gone up in weight class and then went back down. On top of the big jump in weight. So you got to think about it, man. Like, you got to know when to get out of a situation. And sometimes the perfect time to get out of a situation is in the beginning. You never get in it in the first place. You don't have to get into a situation and know it's bad. You know it's bad before you get in it a lot of the times. So let's get back into this thing, man.
With basketball men and white women, what's that about? People in sports and white women.
I think a majority of what we see is men choosing women who are willing to do for them what needs to be done or what they need to feel within a relationship. She probably waits on him hand and foot, gives him sound advice, talks to him respectfully, and the list goes on and on and on. What we don't talk about in our community is the war between men and women. Mm-hmm. That's why we here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People that look like me and you who don't treat each other or show up for each other the way that we need to. And women all day long. I have clips in my phone, even from other podcasts and other things that go viral. You literally have women that look like you, Queen, that are saying, we don't need men. We don't need them.
Isn't that crazy?
Good. But then the same women that say, well, we don't need y'all, you get mad when they go elsewhere.
Facts.
But I don't hear people going crazy when Serena marries her husband or Eve marries her husband, because it's a double standard.
Yeah.
Right? They'll say, I'll take that billionaire too. Mm-hmm. But again, are we focused on the love aspect, or are we focused on what you think or how that looks? Mm-hmm. I'm big on, black love, but I'm also big on love.
Mm-hmm.
Cool Rob, salute, man. Welcome to the family, bro, man. Good to see you in here, man. Cool Rob, man, one of my OG guys, man. Go back like 4 flat tires, man. Like 8 tracks and stacks and old school Cadillacs, man. Let me see. All right, no problem, bro. No problem, Elo. Appreciate you, man. Just got our work and joined, brother. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you joining up the family as well. So listen, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something. There is a double standard, but here's the reason for her double standard. The reason for her double standard is this. She, in her mind, has convinced herself that none of us are good, but she convinced herself that all women are. So she's saying that she ain't got no choice but to go to the other side and date another or date out, because none of us are any good. But she's saying there's so many of them who are good that we only date out by choice because we have options. They're all around us. They're so great. They're so phenomenal. They do exactly the same thing that every other woman does. That's what the double standard has nothing to do with us. It can't control us. Her double standard is the way she views things. She thinks she has this eminent amount of value and that we have none. That's the double standard. Her truthful outlook, because if she's honest with herself, the same thing she says about us, she can say about herself. If she's honest with herself. But, that's not something that happens all the time. Yeah, man, I do believe that, we can be better alone, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, man, that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life without a woman, dog. There's some things that having a woman around you, man, that's just beautiful. And physically, man, she's everything that arouses you on a regular basis. Pretty much all the time. You have to use some self-control to not always be on her, man. Man, that's for that. And a woman who understands that is your will, no way, and she's gonna do the things that you need to, that you want her to do, that you need her to do, that you tell her to do. Hey, man, listen, ain't nothing you could do about that. You got to understand that that's how it is. That's what you got to do. And you just got to keep in mind that when your life is in the balance, and it's always in the balance, when you get ready to make a bad decision, your life is always in the balance. And you got to always not take for granted that You can mess up your life, man, with one simple decision. It's not even about a bunch of different things. It's just about one simple decision can change your life forever, man. And if you're going to make that decision, don't you want to make a decision about what you're going to invest in? Don't you want to make a decision about what you're going to do when it comes to paper? Ain't that decision you want to make, or you want to make a decision based on something foolish like this, man? Putting the wrong woman in your life. Come on, man. I ain't rolling with that. I ain't rolling with that. It's got to be my way or no way. If it's not your way or no way, man, then you got some issues. You got some issues, man, if it's not your way or no way. Because for me, it's going to be my way or no way, man. I'm not going to do it any other way. I don't want to do it any other way. I don't want to talk about doing it any other way. I'm not compromising on doing it any other way. That's the way it's going to be done. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's going to be done. Ain't no other way to do it. That's the way it's going to be done. That's the way I want to do it. And that's the way that works for me. And I get it. You know, if it don't work for her, I don't care. If it don't work for her, cool. I ain't got a problem with that. It doesn't have to work for her, but it works for me. And what works for me is what I apply to my life. And if she want to be a part of my life, she got to go for that. If she doesn't go for that, man, then cool. She ain't got to. She ain't got to do nothing. The Rain Carrot Show. Appreciate the 5-bone tuition, keeping my wheels burning. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. My way or no way, man, is okay. That's the motto. That's it. That's the pure motto. It's my way or no way, and no way is okay. So yes, man, listen, bro. I love to have an amazing woman around me, man, to understand that really believe in her heart that pleasing me is the best thing she could do. But I think we do want to be alone, Mr. J. I think we do want to be alone if the option is to have some shit. You know what I'm saying? If we can't have what we want, then yes, listen, bro, I don't mind being alone if that means that, you know, I gotta, if for me not to be alone, I gotta accept some foolishness. But I don't think deep down inside, none of us really want to be alone, man. That's not the thing that we want to do. We don't want to be alone, but we want quality. We want the type of quality that we deserve. What's wrong with that? We just want the type of quality that we deserve. That's all we want, brothers. We don't want nothing else. We just want the kind of quality that we deserve. That's all. See, because here's the thing, man. If you get into a situation with a woman that's beneath you, she going to hold on so tight that even when it's bad, you're not going to be able to let go. You understand? You ain't gonna be able to let go because too much of you has been poured into her. When you get an empty wagon, when you get an empty jug, when you get an empty tub, you cannot take a bath in an empty bathtub. You cannot swim in an empty pool. You cannot get a drink out of an empty jug. You cannot do any of those things. You cannot take a drive with an empty gas tank. And so anything that's empty, you have to pour into it. So if a woman is psychologically empty, you have to pour into her psychologically. If she's emotionally empty, you have to pour into her emotionally. If she's financially empty, you have to pour into her financially. And that's why you can't let go. Because after you pour spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and financially, and physically into a woman, every part of you is tied into her. So of course you can't let go. You feel empty when you're apart because so much of you is there with her. You feel empty when you're apart. You leave, but you can't stay gone. You got to go back because you don't have the intestinal fortitude to wait and just wait for yourself to slowly rebuild your energy. You got to go back over there where your energy at. Why? Because it feels better. It feels better to be over there. Adam Fit Forever. Muslim women of Islam will bring peace and ease to your life. If she ain't married, most of them are virgins and is ready to be put in a wife position. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. There's some other cultures as well. Masamara. You can find a Masamari girl, man, that's the same way, man. I don't mean like straight out the village, but close enough to, to honor the customs and traditions, man. And you could go some places around the world, man. Like you can do that, man. And now with the internet, the same way the tricks. Here's the thing about it: the tricks have taken over in America. Now they got reach around the rest of the world, but in America, many women would prefer a man that's a trick. They would just prefer a man who will pay to play, and then they could go on their way. Many of them will prefer that. And that's not me making anything up. That's real, bro. That's real, man. And so when you think about creating the energy within yourself and protecting that energy, then that's what makes you desirable to a good woman. That makes you desirable to a woman that's worthy of being in a wife position. See, everything we talk about on these platforms is just about in America. But America is only 4% of the world's population. The world is a huge place. Why is everything that has something to do with women about America? Are the only guys who understand that there's other places in the world the passport bros? You got to be thinking more. If you don't look at nothing else that the passport bros have proven is that there's other places in the world. And guess what? Women live there too. And also, guess what? There's a bunch of places you can go anywhere and get any kind of woman you want, whatever her nationality, whatever her race, whatever. You could get any kind of woman you want outside of the United States. And really, once you get outside of the UK and the US, Canada, places like that, man, the world's a different place. The world's a different place. It really is, man. Yeah. Yeah, everywhere there's liberal, there's 304s, exactly. Mr. J is in Europe right now. So when you look at the UK, you look at even maybe even, even different parts of Europe, man, especially the places where anywhere you go where there's a huge English speaking contingent of women, then they are caught up in the ways of the US, bro. They really are. So let's get back into the thing, man. Wait a minute, somebody just sent me something, man. Let me go back up here. UK Prince, appreciate the dime, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, harsh reality, man. True. Nobody wants to be alone, but we're not settling for BS. That's the problem. We're not settling for BS. So I say to you, man, it is okay. It is okay to want what you want because you deserve it.
Do you blame that, like, you've been divorced 3 times?
Yeah.
Do you blame that on your relationships?
No, that's been me. You know, I'm the captain of my ship.
So why divorce so many times?
Well, actually, you got divorced and remarried.
Well, you got to remember. Well, I've been divorced from one woman twice.
Okay.
My first wife.
What happened with that? You said, okay, we can make this happen again, and then you said, F this, I'm out of here.
Well, no, you try it, but like you see 2 roses that's growing.
Right.
And oftentimes in the bloom of youth, they're growing in the same direction, but as they blossom in different directions. And you still have the camaraderie and the love between you. You have 3 kids, but now you're better off as friends, you know.
Let me tell you something, man. I want y'all to understand this. 2 people who have been married and have children cannot be friends. You have what I call a limbo relationship. There is no relationship. You have history. And so you're dealing with each other based on the history. You're trying, especially when there are kids involved, you're trying to do what you have to do to make sure the kids still have a as healthy an environment as possible when it comes to parenting. But for real, you can't be friends. You can't be friends after the smashing. So if your woman has a male best friend, they smashed, they ain't friends. They are, they exes at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's what it makes it. And so you got to understand, man, that when you sit and listen, man, and you sit and talk, listen to a woman talk, man, and she started to talk about all these experiences she's had, man, and all, man, I'm like, man, bro, that's not something that a man really wants to be involved in. That's not what a man wants to be involved in. Donnell Phillips, appreciate the dub, brother. Happy you touched on this topic. An ex wanted me to cut her recently. Won't lie, I considered it, but then I realized how pointless it would be and thought about why I left in the first place. Ain't worth it. Man, you know it's not worth it, but to her it is. To her it is. The greatest thing you can ever do for yourself, for your psyche, for your masculinity, for your ism, for your alpha energy is to never let that woman who fucked up and let you get away ever experience what it's like to be with you again. Ever. Man, listen, I'm the type, man, I'll let them come through and spend a couple of days and still won't cut. And if she want to be bold enough to ask that question, I ain't know. I would just, who knows what was gonna happen, but I ain't really feeling you like that no more. Listen, bruh. Woman end up spending the rest of her life trying to figure out how she could benefit your life because she knows she ain't gonna never be with you like that again. But she wanted to try it. She wanted to see if she could do the things she used to do, if she could hook you back in, if she could. Nope, man, what you talking about? When I'm out, I'm out. When I'm done, I'm done. I ain't coming back. It's over. When I's done, I's done. You hear me? I ain't lying to you either, man.
Hey y'all. So, God delivered me out of a cycle of having guy best friends, and the revelation He gave me is what I'm about to share. It's not biblical, but it was very much His wisdom that woke me up to it, not my own understanding, which is why I say God revealed it to me. So, middle school, I had a guy best friend and close guy friends. High school, I had a guy best friend and close guy friends, and even in college I had a guy best friend. I had girlfriend groups also all throughout, but somehow I would always find myself with that one really close guy friend. So it wasn't until God recently brought me to a place of reflection. I looked back and I was like, maybe there's something wrong with this picture. Why do I always find myself quickly having a guy best friend? Like, if you know those people that always get in relationships, they always have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, God bless them. As soon as they break up with somebody, like, boom, they're in the next relationship. Like, that's what it was for me, but with guy best friends. So I started to pray and ask God about it. And what He revealed to me was me having a guy best friend is me basically shortcutting myself because I'm sharing myself emotionally with somebody, constantly telling them about my day, constantly telling them what's going on, hanging out with them one-on-one. And even if we're hanging out like in a public place, like, we're still the only ones in our conversation. And so what does that sound like? That sounds like having a partner. At least it does to me. I did not see it to be this way at the time, which is why God had to open my eyes to see the cycle that I was in. And I can appreciate guy and girl relationships, and I believe they can definitely be platonic. And I think having guy friends or having girl friends as a guy is necessary and helpful as you're led by the Holy Spirit and good with your boundaries and, seeking God in your ways. However, the way I would be so close to these friends, it was clear that we were at least seeking some type of validation from one another in some form. Of course, you can factor in that with guy and girl friend relationships, one may be lusting after the other, hidden or expressed, which is another thing that might make you question, what is the real point of this relationship? And what are we really doing if there is no intention of us being more than friends? In the past, it wasn't that deep to me because, you're young, you're not really deep in your relationships other than the fact that they're cool people, they make me happy. But now, submitted to God, you truly desire to have whoever is meant to be in your life, which are also the people who are helping you get to your destiny and your purpose found in Christ. So the cycle I was in was actually about to repeat itself at my new university until I saw the situation and I realized, wait, I've seen this before. I said, God forbid. And I started to pray. Glory to God, that relationship diminished. And then all of a sudden, it was just inconvenient to hang out. You know how God just sweeps that person out. He just answers that prayer so quick. So I just know that was the move of God and His grace. But had I not had discernment within the people around me or where I was giving my energy to, I would have not felt convicted to pray. And had I seen it, and not known how to pray, how could have God moved in that situation in the mighty way that He did? And situations like that are set up to throw us off course. We all want something one day, a husband, achievements. The enemy wants to distract you. I'm not saying that these people were bad people. They were great people. I love them. Amen. But there comes a point where you have to discern what is great and what is God.
Now, here's the thing, man. She could possibly, just with her energy and the way she's talking about friend zoning all these guys, man, and She get kind of admitted they lusted for her, whether hidden or exposed. You have to understand, man, that she could possibly be a virgin. She possibly could. You understand what I'm saying? She really possibly could. But here's the problem. Even with all those psychological ties, all it takes is for one of them to cross the line. So I want y'all to think about all those times. All it takes is for one of them to cross the line. And it changes who she is. It changes what she's looking for. It changes what she desires. Because here's the problem. A woman who hasn't been caught up. Because here's the thing. You could be as caught up as you want to, but the stamp is the physicality. If a woman really feeling me, but before I come through and drop the hammer on her, man, she's just feeling me. I come through and drop the hammer and put the hammer on top of that, it's over, man. I got her. And that's why I played this clip, because I want you men to understand. Just think about, now she's obviously, somebody said Uganda, and I think the same thing. So when you look at her, bro, you got to understand that if that had been in America, how many? Somebody put in the chat. Do you think she'd have been snatched one of them guys? If that was in America, she'd been to smash one of them guys, at least one of them. Probably be smashing multiples. Why? Because here in America, like Cardi B said, a woman, you got to break bread with a woman. And I'm be honest with you, dog, it's very few men out here that's breaking bread for net. It's guys out here that'll give a woman 5,000, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. But ain't nobody out here giving her that money for nothing. You dig what I'm saying? Somebody may pay a $200 bill for nothing, give her $100, but we talking about some G's. No man is paying no G's for nothing. He may pay some G's, knock stuffing out the Egg McMuffin, but he ain't paying no G's for nothing. And that's what I want y'all to understand. We live in an environment where the majority of women you meet can't do this. They can't just be in these relationships with these men, because American women feel like this. They feel like, why not? I had a woman jump in a comment, man, on an IG post. Y'all follow me on IG, man. I had a woman jump in a comment on an IG post and said, what's the problem with women just enjoying the benefits of casual sex? The benefit. Come on, man. The benefits. Come on, bruh. I want y'all to think about that. The benefits of casual sex, bro. Like, she thinks there's benefits to it. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. So I want y'all to understand, man, that there's a lot of things that, you know, that a woman could deal with. And I see Mr. J said, see, here what you got to understand, Mr. J. That trauma just come from a woman being in a relationship with another man. Anytime a woman is in a deep relationship with a man, and they are intimate partners, and they are emotional partners, and they are when they are emotionally connected, and she may even be emotionally attached, and they deal with each other like that, when that situation is over, that's trauma. Every subsequent man she's with after that, and then break up, that's trauma. So when we talk about the intimate trauma, bro, it comes from more than just what she may have gone through. Somebody may have, taken advantage of her or something. No, the trauma starts when she's not with that man anymore. And then she's with another man and she's not with that man anymore. And then if she's been with 15 men, bro, she's traumatized. So that's the level of trauma that we have to think about as men. Yes, we know about the things she may have gone through. Let's say, if her daughter is her daddy's child, or her son is her daddy's child, that's something totally different, man. That's a different ball game. We're talking about something totally different. But that's why you have to, most times you can avoid that if you have a standard of the type of woman you're going to deal with based on where she's from, based on what she looks like. But there are certain things a woman can have, man, I'm automatically avoid her. There's certain things there's certain ways she can look, I'm going to automatically avoid her. There's certain place she can be from, I'll automatically avoid her. Or I'm going to know as a smash and dash. Because also you got to think about a lot of the time too, man, These women get into the craft to cleanse themselves. So a lot of time you see a woman get into the craft, man, she in the witchcraft and casting spells. She get into that to cleanse all those energies out of herself. She feel all those energies, all that masculine energy, all those guys bubbling inside of her being, and she uses those spells to cleanse herself. But when she sees they work, what do we do when we see something that works? What do we do when we see something that works? Anybody, as human beings, what do we do when we see something that works? We put it in our pocket as something that works. We remember, hey, this works. And so we continue to do it. And so a lot of times that's why she got into that. And now she's into it now, and she's willing to, rely on it if she has to in order to change other areas of her life. You dig what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, so think about how popular that is now. And then you think about how many women who out here who champion that, who deal with that, who talk about that, who just, it never stops, bro. And I'm telling you, you have to understand that there's a certain type of woman who deserves to be in the wife position. And I'm going to tell you, a woman ain't going to never tell you, I don't deserve to be your wife, ever. She can know she don't. But if that position is available, her ass going to fight for it, bro. She gonna fight for it. She gonna try to get in it because she wanna be in it, because it's a good position. And if she don't deserve to be in it, it's the best thing she could have ever thought of her whole life.
Don't matter because my dad is rich and because I have this and I have that, when that shit don't mean nothing to me. Like, I drive a Toyota Corolla and I'm content. When my dad bought me that car, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, a Toyota Corolla? But before that, I was driving Wayne's Acura. And you just learn to appreciate stuff. I'm looking on social media, I'm looking at these girls' lives that are my age, and I'm like, damn, you doing this, you doing that. I'm sitting here with my 2 dogs and my boyfriend every day trying to figure out what I want to eat. Like, I feel stuck. But at the end of the day, I'm very blessed. I'm in a very blessed position. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes their journey is their journey and your journey is your journey.
Now that's Snoop Dogg daughter, man, and she's had some illnesses, man. Like she's been, ever since she was a little girl, man, she's been dealing with a lot. She has these illnesses, man, where she gets really, really sick, has to be hospitalized. Serious, complicated things, man. And she's got some serious health issues, man. And I just think she's going through something psychological, because after a while, going through those illnesses and being sick, it has the potential to mess with your head after a while. At some point, we're all human. At some point, especially as young as she is, you end up going into a why me or woe is me mode, a self-pity mode. And you'd be looking at everybody else. And like you heard what she said, she has a rich father and she's still looking at girls online to see how they live. Complaining about her life because she just sit there with her 2 dogs and a boyfriend. And, but you got to think about it. To be in the position she's in and be going through the things she has to go through as far as sickness goes, she must understand that even to have a boyfriend is an amazing thing. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he claims her as his daughter. He claims her as his daughter, man. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and this is real talk. I don't care what nobody say. There's no way that Snoop and Shantae made that girl. There's no way. Ain't no way. Absolutely no way. And so when you look at it, man, and you just listen to her talk, man, there's a sense of entitlement that comes with women of a certain age group. And that's why I tell you, if you want a young woman, you got to go outside of the United States, man. You know what I'm saying? Because generation after generation, they're gradually getting worse here. You know what I'm saying? Millennials are oh man, listen, the backside, the young millennials, man, I wouldn't dare even consider You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Matter of fact, I don't dare consider. I never consider it. I'm not gonna consider it, man. You know what I'm saying? And so there's the catch-22 when you're in America, where there's the millennial who's young and she's bad and she's all that, but she batshit crazy. And then there's the millennial who's on the upper end, but she's already gone through 2 or 3 heartaches and she got 3 or 4 kids, 2 at least. And so when you think about it, man, we're in a dilemma here, where if you become the man that you want to become and you live in the life that you want to live, you got to understand, man, you got to fall back. You got to fall back, man. And the hardest thing for a man to do is fall back, because you've allowed yourself to become reliant on that woman for what? For what? Because she look good? Because you feel needed by her? Never mistake her neediness for needing you. Just because she needs somebody don't mean she need you. There's one thing for a woman to feel like, I need this man in my life. And there's one thing for a woman to feel like, I need somebody to step in my life. You could be somebody or you can be one body. If I ain't one body, I ain't going to be somebody. I can tell you that. And that's just the way we have to look at this thing, man. George Despo, salute to you, brother. Appreciate the dime super sticker, man. I appreciate you. You have to understand that, man. And, a lot of times, man, you look out into it. And so you look at the thing, you look at the fact that, okay, she got a boyfriend that's there with her and he's taking care of a sick girl because she's sick. And you know how it is. When you get really, really sick, when they send you home, you're not well. You're just well enough to go home. They tell you the rest of your treatment can be done at home. You're not sick enough for them to keep letting you hold that bed right there, because you're getting better, and they got somebody that can use that bed that's absolutely sick for the first time. That's at the beginning of their sickness, and they can keep them in there by 21 days. Your insurance is only going to pay for 5 more days for you. So when you think about it, man, this is what you must mean. This is what you must understand. When you waste so much time losing yourself in a situation with the wrong person, then you spend even more time refining yourself. It takes a little bit longer to refine yourself than it did to lose yourself. And look how long it took you to lose yourself before you realized you were lost. Yeah, that's the thing, man. And so for me, man, if it's a girl, man, I don't deal with girls who got these big girls group, man. Let me tell you something, bro. I be meeting girls that's homebodies. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, man, I was at the beach, man, and I met a girl, man, at the beach, man. Man, we kicked it the whole time I was there. Man, she was there by herself. She just took a vacation by herself. She ain't bring no friends with her or nothing. We literally, and I know she ain't had nobody with her, man. We literally kicked it the whole time I was there. You know what I'm saying? We kicked it I think, well, not the whole time I was there, the whole time she was there. When I got there, she only had, I think, 3 days left. I had just got there. I was going to spend 10 days. And so she had 3 days left, man. She actually stayed an extra day. And man, we had a blast, bro. I ain't gonna get into no details about that, man. But we had a blast, man. And it was just one of those situations where we had a blast because I was there on vacation by myself. She was there on vacation by herself. And man, we had a blast. And it was one of those things, man, where her energy was different because she knew herself and she was herself and she was about herself and she loved herself and she appreciated herself, and it reflected in the way she interacted with herself, me, and everybody else around. And so these types of situations, man, and I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, man. She looked good too, man. She was on the beach with a 2-piece on, looking good in a 2-piece. So I ain't gonna say she was like I ain't like this fucking dime piece beauty queen, man. You know what I'm saying? She was a good solid. She was on the beach, man. She was a good solid 7.5. But when she dressed up, she was a good solid 8.5. Not nothing too flashy, man, but decent enough. Especially when you ain't bring no sand to the beach and the beach already got sand for you. DJ Fresh, my brother, salute to you, man. Salute to you. Hey, Fresh, man, I listen to them joints, man. I got one I'm finna work on, dog. Let's chop it up, man, on IG, man. I got hey, you one of them thing, man. I'm finna set the session up, man, for I'm trying. It just depends on when I can get in. That's a busy time of year. I'm gonna set the session up, man, for the next available. And man, I'm gonna go slide through that. Boy, that thing is That thing a juggernaut, boy. When I say it's a juggernaut, whew, it's a juggernaut, man. And so that's the thing we have to understand, dog. We gotta keep in mind that, life is life and it's gotta be what it is, man. So let's get back into the thing, man. We're gonna go ahead and try to wrap it up. That woman right there, man, is 104 years old. I want you to look at her. She's 104 years old. Let's just sit and appreciate the beauty of this black woman that's 104 years old and looking 40 years younger than she is. Listen, at no more than 30, looking every bit of 70 or younger, and she's 104 years old. Blowing out birthday candles. So this is what happens when a woman takes care of her femininity. She still looks like a lady. You look at her, she's not overweight. Let me tell you something, brothers. There are no 300-pound people that are 80 years old. Think about that. There's not one single 80-year-old that's 300 pounds that you've ever met in your life. Ever. Ever. She's 104. So when you think about it, man, you got to understand what it takes, that when a woman is feminine, her feminine lasts forever. It lasts forever. Like it never goes anywhere. So the bottom line is, man, I want you to understand that a woman has to be raised to be feminine like this. She has to be raised to enhance that femininity. Because here's the thing. This is the real reason that women outlive men. It's because her life, when she's a feminine woman, see, only the feminine woman outlives you now. If she's a feminine woman, then her life is filled with love, loving other people, getting love back. So when we talk about how a woman will be let's say a woman is in hospice, a man is in hospice, the woman have people all around her bed. The man may not have people all around his bed. Now for us anyway, for other cultures, they both sides, they people be around the bed. For us, the man won't have people around his bed. Why? Because as men, we're taught that the concept of love is feminine. Even though we hear God tell us he loves us, we are afraid of the word love because we feel like love makes you feminine, because we understand and look back. Our trauma is we look back on a relationship we had that we were suckers in, and we tell ourselves we were suckers because we loved the woman. No, you weren't a sucker because you loved the woman. You were a sucker because you didn't love yourself. It ain't about you loving her. It ain't that you loved her. It's that you didn't love you. That's really the main thing, brother, that we have to understand. It's really that you didn't love you. A lot of time you hear man say, man, I love her, man. I'm love her. I'm in love with her. You ain't in love with her. You just out of love with you. You need to love something because you got a whole bunch of love to give and you can't give it to yourself. You ain't proud of yourself. You don't love yourself. You don't like yourself. You don't respect yourself. And that's really what we're dealing with out here, man. You got to understand, man, that when you invest so much unreciprocated time and effort and energy into a situation, you look at leaving the situation and you tell yourself, damn, if I leave, I got to accept the fact that I've been a fool. I've been a fool for this woman, man. I've been a fool for you. You gave me the runaround. I've been a fool for you, but it's over now. It's over now. That's what you have to tell her, man. You have to tell her that thing is over. And you have to mean it. But in order to say it's over, you have to accept the fact that you've been a fool. You also have to accept the fact that you were too weak to leave when you saw it was over. That's one of the hardest things for a man to accept, is that he was weak for a woman. You weren't in love with the woman. You were weak for the woman because you weren't strong for you. You got to love yourself first and foremost above all others. You got to love yourself tremendously, man, because when it boils down, if you don't, you're going to pour too much love on somebody else and you ain't going to have no love left to give yourself. We can't live that way. We can't live that way, bro.
I'm the most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you in Hollywood?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. You had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gutter. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, listen, brother. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. What he said in that clip that resonates. You can't love the Lord. You can't follow the Most High. You can't believe that you're doing the right thing when you're compromising your spiritual man. It don't matter who you think you are. It don't matter if you think, man, I'm just going, this is just the way I am, man. God gonna be okay with it. Nope. That's a defeatist mentality. Okay, maybe you got to work hard in that area or work harder. Maybe you got to work hard in that area or work harder. Maybe you got to work hard in that area or work harder. But you got to put in the work. The bottom line is you have to stand on principles. You have to stand on the pimp principle that I am above the broad. You got to stand on the pimp principle that the broad is beneath me. You got to stand on the pimp principle that it's my way or no way, and no way is okay. And if you don't want to do it my way, I will send your ass on your way without pay. You got to stand on principles. What's your principle for your money? What's your principle for your time? What's your principle for your woman? What's your principle for your friends? What's your principle for your family? What's your principle for your grind? What's your principle for your spirit, man? What's your principle for your workout? What's your principle for your diet? What's your principle for all of those things? What's your principle? What's your principle for your rest? What's your principle for your peace? Every single area of life, you got to stand on a principle. You have to stand on principles. And I'm telling you, if you just throw your eyes into the book of Proverbs, every principle you need for every facet of life is right there. If you just apply the book of Proverbs to your life, you become a much more godly man, and God will start to deal with you in a different way. Just apply the book of Proverbs. That's all you got to do. Matter of fact, on the King Ray Ray Show, man, let's take a dive. Let's get back into the book of Proverbs, man. So listen, y'all tune in for the King Ray Ray Show tomorrow, man. We're going to jump back into the book of Proverbs. That's what we're going to do. But we're going to take it slow. We're not going to go through and read chapter after chapter. We're going to go verse at a time. You understand? It's so good that we're going to create shows around the verses, not the chapters. I want y'all to understand, man, that you have the power to control your life. But you got to control it from the perspective of a man who wants to live in a position of power. You can't think it. You have to do it. You can't wish it moves. You have to move it. This is what we have to do, brothers. So I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Let's go ahead and get ready to slide out. I know it's a little bit of a late show. I appreciate y'all still turning up and turning out, man. It's been good, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, All my brothers. Y'all do one thing, man. Stanton Howard. Appreciate the dime, brother. I can't think of a person in their 80s and 90s that does things excessive. They either need it or they don't. That's it, man. They either need it or they don't. Man, let me tell you something. This is real talk. Everybody I know, for real, outside of celebrities and people let's just really outside of celebrities and athletes. And of course, I mean, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't be in areas, man, where I be around a whole bunch of deep boys unless I'm at a, like a hood function or something where a bunch of heavy hitters come through. But I know some people, man, that's sitting on, some millions. They all drive Hondas and Kias, and if they got a couple of kids in the house, they may drive an Armada or an Affinity truck or something like that, man. But not nearly the things that you see rappers and entertainers and just all black guys blowing things on, because we have a tendency to try to do the Americanized thing, but the Americanized thing is feed the economy by spending all of your money. And many times we get caught up in that. So I appreciate all you guys being in the building, man. I appreciate everybody for sure. We about to head on out of here, man. Y'all put God first. Keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace.